This is my favorite technique. It's called the go round, also round robin. And literally, if you are at a boardroom table and all your participants are sitting around the table, you're going to go round and ask them to answer a question or to check in with each other. So the go round is meant to make sure that everybody gets into a positive emotional state, which will set the tone for your meetings and allow the productivity of the meeting to be really good. And in the go round, you always make sure you give people the right to pass. So they don't have to answer the question, but you might come back to them at the end. I might come back to you at the end. So this is how I would say it. Here's my question. I'd like us to start with, let's share one thing that you've heard from this presentation. And there's no wrong answer. It could be just an image you saw, a word you heard, or I'm not looking for a big sentence, just one thing you heard or saw in the presentation that we just saw. And who would like to start? You might say that's one way you could start. If you know there's going to be someone who's going to talk a lot, you can remind them when they start. You've got about 30 seconds. Everyone's going to get 30 seconds. So that person starts and you can usually say, okay, you can just pass it to the left or right of you, and that person will go, and then next, and this person says, oh, I'd like to pass, no worries. You keep going around until everyone's answered. Come back to that person and say, would you like to answer now? Sometimes people just need a little bit more time to answer the question. Now, when do you use this? I would say you use it when everyone's opinion matters and you really want to hear something from everyone on a question like, what is your gut reaction to this particular idea? And the other way to ask it is at the beginning of a meeting as your first easy question. As I just said, what's one thing you heard in the presentation? Or what's one thing you know about this topic? And then people can offer whatever they want. And it sets you with common ground. Everybody gets to contribute. By having the first question be really easy, that's critical. Because when you have a first easy question, likely no one is going to pass. And two, it just shows your neutrality. Remember that role of acting as a neutral guide? Every answer is fantastic. Just thank them. Don't go into any paraphrasing. Thank you very much. And move on. And then what happens when people have answered the first question and they feel that their contribution is acknowledged and applauded in some way, then they are likely to contribute more in future questions that are more difficult. So start with an easy question, then they're likely to contribute much later. Try it. It's my favorite technique.